Hello internet, Yuka here. Just grabbing this one. Good stuff. Alright, let's get going. I did make a couple of changes for the game, the Necken project, and I just wanted to talk to you about them. Well, first off, if we go into the game, let's move the annoying pen. I did add basic combat. So if I come on, okay, bad example. So the camera zooms in and you beat each other to death, and then the camera zooms out again. So that's just a super simple testing combat thing that I've made. It's basically the same as the old project, and you can see that the combat takes longer for each time I kill an enemy, and that's because the weapon is depleting. So I have to gather stone to go to the anvil to repair the weapon. So now I have 5 again. Now I have 5, and each time you do that, it becomes more and more expensive as well. And that is just some super basic combat just to get started. And as you can probably see, there's something that spawns all these boars. So I added a spawn tile that is well, just spawning boars, and the goal is supposed to be that you should destroy that one. -9 health, that's not good. So if we restart this, oh, there we go. So as you can see, it's here, and you can pretty much destroy it, and that breaks this tile completely. But other than that, there's a spawn tile, and I'm not sure if you can see it right now because there's an error. Whoops. So the resource tiles will get disabled when there's an enemy standing on top of it. So you can see that. Oh, crap. There we go. So this stone tile here is disabled, which means that it does not replenish each tick. So each new turn in the game, all the resources will be replenishing, but a block tile won't. So you don't want the enemies to be standing on your resource tiles, because then it will just waste time. And it doesn't really have that much effect right now because well, the game is far from completed, but they do disable the resources. And I also added berry tile. So if I get hurt like so, I can just use the berry tile to regain my health. And the berry tile starts with 0 charges, and it just increases over time up until 3 or 4 or something. So it's a resource that works a bit different than the tree and the stone, but they like all 3 of them works differently. Like they recharge differently. So I just wanted to add that as well. I also added the anvil, and I mentioned it before, and it kind of works like this. So you collect stone, and you collect stone, and then you go to the anvil and activate it to regain durability on your weapon. So each time you fight, your weapon gets worn out, and you have to get more stone to just fix it. And right now it gets more and more expensive for each time you recharge it. So that's something you have to look out for, but that will probably change in the end. I'm not sure. I also fixed the sprites, like the sorting order of the sprites. So you are always standing in front of them if you're on the same tile, but you are behind them if you are on the tile above. So and that applies for the tile sprites as well. So the sprite order is sorted as well. God. Okay, there we go. And I also added a tiny effect on the tiles when it gets visited. So if a player or an enemy is visiting a tile, there's a smooth transition instead of just a wonky move X pixels right away thing. I think it looks good. I think I'm gonna keep this. And let's reset this. That's the wrong button. There we go. And I'm also building a new combat system. If I go to this, so I'm pretty much trying to build a new combat system that looks something like this. So each time you enter combat, you can input 3 directions, and each direction represents one kind of maneuver. So left means you are using your shield to attack, and up means that you are using your body to attack, and right means that you are using your weapon as an attack. And I mean, instead of using like the normal shield is for deflecting attacks and stuff like that, I'm trying to find a combat system that works with these 3 components, and each component, each like health, weapon, and shield, they are kind of like connected to resource as well. So health is connected to the berries right now, and the weapons is connected to the stone right now, and shield is connected to the tree. So you will need stone to repair the weapon, you will need tree to repair the shield, and so on. And this way you can, like, if I attack with my body 3 times, that means that I do 3 damage. So you never do more or less damage, you always do the same amount of damage, but you can choose where you want your like which resource you want to use to attack. So if I have a lot of health, I can use my body to attack, but my health will be depleting. And if I only attack with my shield, then my shield would take all the damage, but I will still deal 3 damage. So I'll spend quite a few days just trying to get a combat system that I like, and built a couple of prototypes, and not really 100% satisfied with the combat so far, but I'm trying it and testing it and trying to design the whole combat system around this principle, that whatever you use gets worn. And I think that might work, but I'm not really sure. But as I said, I spent a couple of days trying to figure out a good combat system that works well with this game, and so far it's hard. It's super hard to build a combat system. And last thing I want to mention was that I kind of discovered that I want this game discovered. I've actually figured it out myself, that I want my game to focus on 3 components. So the first thing is combat. So I really want the combat to be important in the game. The second one is crafting, and the third one is gathering the resources. So these 3 areas will be my focus areas for the game. And I think that, well, it's not really that unique. I mean, take pretty much any game that is some kind of adventurous thing, and it has probably these 3 components in different ways. I mean, look at new Zelda or any other adventure game. There's some kind of combat, crafting, and collecting, and I just want to be able to focus on one area at a time, and right now I'm focusing more on the combat system, obviously. So my god, the camera is going places. But I think that's everything I've been doing so far. So I'll just continue killing boars and building the combat system for now. Thank you for watching, and please subscribe if you want to know more about the Necken project. Otherwise, I'll hopefully see you next time. Bye.